Head over to BoardGamePrices.com to find the best prices on Shadows Amsterdam and thousands of other games. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here, and today we're going to be trying to fight crime. There's going to be two different teams. One team has an investigator and a bunch of detectives, and those detectives are going to be flying around town on their scooters, going to different places that the investigators are trying to tell them to go to try and solve the crime first. Today we're taking a look at Shadows Amsterdam. This is a team versus team game. It's a party game that uses a different type of artwork, kind of like Codenames meets Capture the Flag meets Mysterium. So let me show you how the game plays, and I'll see you on the other side. This is a team game. There's two teams, and at the beginning of the game, each team will have an investigator. That's going to be the clue giver. They'll take one of these two shields with this cool artwork and showing the color of black and orange. This is a shield that they'll put things behind. Now the two clue givers from each of the different teams will be sitting next to each other, probably not this close, but on the same side of the table, where their teammates will be sitting on the opposite side of the table in front of them. Now there's 40 different map tiles in this game, and so this is number one, and there's actually 3 different orientations that you can use for each one, so there's a lot of replayability here, and both investigators will use the same map tile and the same orientation. In this case, square. This is going to build a map. What each team is trying to do is get their team to 3 pieces of evidence and then to one of these check marks. This is showing where your team is going to start. Both teams will be starting in the middle of a map that will look like this. I'll show you that map in just a moment. But this is sort of a mini map that this player can kind of use to track where their teammates are going, and they can try to get them there. Some of them have 2 different colors, a black and an orange, and that's because either team can go there and get evidence. But if it only has your color, then only that team can go there to get evidence. However, there's also some X's, which are actually cops that will show up, and if either team hits 3 cops, they automatically lose the round and the other team wins. So what you're trying to do is, without talking, you're going to be giving your team clues with artwork to get them to get to any 3 of these spots to get evidence on there and then get to the check mark. The first team to do that will win the round. So that's what these people are doing. So now let's go take a look at the map. Now this map is constructed randomly using 6 different map tiles that have a bunch of different hexes, and these are also double-sided, has these original artwork on both sides of these, and you'll make this map like this, but you'll notice there's some empty hexes. Those actually get filled up with some cards to start the game. So to start the game, there'll actually be 3 obstacles that people can't move through, but all those empty spaces get filled up like that. Now both teams will be getting a little pawn on scooters because that's what they're going to be doing, going around the town trying to get the evidence. Now here they are. They start in the center. Just to show you, the map card that we showed you behind the investigators was this. And they start in the middle like this. And so all of this corresponds with all of these. And these obstacles are basically these 3 spots there that they can't go through. That's how it sort of works, mapping them around the entire district. Now this is a real-time game, so each player is trying to get to 3 pieces of evidence and then get to one of the green checkmark client spaces. Now how this works is, I'm going to move these shields because those would normally be up, but there's 10 of these intel cards out there face up that these players can see, and they're looking at them. Now there's a total of 84 of these cards in the deck, so a lot of them to look at. Now at any given time, one of these players can take one of these, it's first come first serve, and give it to any one of the people on their team, and they're trying to tell them where to go. Now look at this. This orange player would love to get their team just to go south here, to get to this orange, to get to one of the investigations. And they're going to take this card and they're going to pass it to their team. Now, if they give the team 1 card, that means they want them to go 1 space away. And at the beginning, they can just go one of these 3 spaces because these are obstacles. Now, I know this is upside down, so it might be a little bit hard to see. This was one of the cards we added, so I'll just flip it like this. Now, this looks like someone, someone's sleeping, doesn't really want to be woken up. This person's waking them up, and it's 7:05 in the morning. Well, I gave them this card because I wanted them to think, well, this person needs to go to school, and they don't like to wake up early for school, and so that's that. So that was my clue to them. Now, when I give this to them, they're going to be talking about, well, which space do they think that I want them to go to? Now, if they go to a space and there's nothing there on my map, then I say nothing. The clue givers can't say anything. But if they do move there, then that indeed was one of my evidence, and they will place it just like that, and that's showing that they have 1 piece of evidence. And when a card is taken, a new one will come out from a big draw pile. Now again, these usually have shields on them, but let's say this player wants to get them all the way over here because some of these are shared spaces. If the orange team gets evidence here first, then they will not be able to get evidence there in some of these shared spaces. So maybe they want to go there first. They want them to get 2 spaces away. If you want someone to get 2 spaces away, you must give them 2 cards simultaneously. So maybe we give them this card and this card. Now, why would I give them those 2 cards? Well, by giving them 2, it tells them that we want them to go 2 spots away. Now, this would be in the player's hands. That wouldn't go down the board. But what I'm showing you here is I'm trying to get them to go here because that's where the evidence is. This is like a little elephant with it looks like maybe a birthday party or a carnival, something fun with balloons. And I thought, well, maybe if there's a party going on, there's a dance party. And if it's sort of a birthday party, maybe it's at like a little arcade or something like that. So I was trying to get them to go there. Now, they know they have to go 2 spaces away. So they're looking at this and going, okay, is it here? Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? So it gives them more spaces and it's harder. But you can get them sometimes to go 2 spaces away. But let's say this team thought, you know what? Hey, this guy's like sawing someone in half. It's like a magic show at a party or something like that. And maybe it's someone's breaking into something and, you know, hitting the lottery is like winning money. Maybe they want us to go to the bank. So maybe the black team puts them there. Well, just to show you this map, I brought this up here. And this one actually would have, it was like this orientation, this one actually would have brought him here, which is on a cop. So what would happen then is this team would have to take one of these and place it on the cop. Now this player's never talking throughout the entire game, never giving facial expressions, never letting them know if they actually moved or they wanted them to or not. They have to be completely silent and not give any clues, but they got a cop. If you ever get 3 cops, you've lost the round and the other team has won it. And if any team actually gets 3 pieces of evidence and then gets the check mark first, then they would win the round. You would then shuffle up all the cards, you'd leave the map the same, you'd keep playing multiple rounds till any team has won 2 rounds, that team has won the game. There's also a cooperative version for 2 to 3 players where you're all working together. There's one clue giver and either 1 or 2 detectives on the same team. You're not racing against anyone, but you're racing against a clock. And you can set it for 3, 5, 8, or 15 minutes, whether you want the different levels of difficulty. 8 is for novice, 5 is for agent, and 3 is for master, and 15 is for recruit. You can turn on or off sounds. You click start, it gives you a timer. It just times you down. You're trying to get 3 pieces of evidence in 2 rounds before you've lost 2 rounds, either by not doing it in time or by getting 3 cops. Now, when I first heard about this game, I read the rulebook and I was like, wow, this hits all things for me. I think this game's gonna be amazing for me, but let's find out if it was. First of all, the game has fantastic art, sort of that Mysterium style, Dixit style art in the game. Lots of different illustrations, 84 different intel cards, lots of different maps that can be flipped over. So the art in this game is absolutely fantastic. Even on the board and on the shields, just the characters, it just looks awesome. Now I called this in the intro, Codenames meets if Codenames, Mysterium, and Capture the Flag had a baby, this would be it. You know, Codenames because it's team versus team, and there's one clue giver. The clue giver's giving clues, but they can't talk about their clues. They can't give any other hints with their facial expressions or anything like that. Very much Codenames in that. Capture the Flag because you're just trying to get them to specific spots, and Mysterium obviously because of the art. So I love all 3 of those things. So I thought for sure I would love this one. Let's talk about it some more, and I did like that aspect of this game. I like that you're giving either 1 or 2 cards depending on what distance you want them to go. And in most spots when you're giving them 1, it's a little bit easier because there's less places that are just 1 away. 2, there's usually more spots that they can possibly go to, so it's a little bit more tricky, but you can move faster, which this is a real-time game, is going to help you out if you can pull that off. So I like that you're giving those 2 different distances. I like that you're racing to shared investigation spots because the map cards are interesting because some of the spots, like I was mentioning here, are shared, and whoever gets there first gets to put their thing there. So you're kind of racing to try to get those. But there's other spots that are sort of shared. There's a certain amount of shared cop spots, certain amount of shared, I think one of the client spots are shared, things like that. And so I like that there's sort of that racing to the investigation spots and that some of the maps on the same level are shared with each other. I like that you're trying to avoid the cops. You know, if they go there, you get a cop marker, 3 of them, you're out of the round. But you might have to try to go through some of those cops using those 2 giving them 2 cards to try to get them through the cops to a spot that you really want to get to, which can be a little bit harder, but sometimes it's trying to get through there, and I like that you have that thing that you're trying to avoid, along with some of the other obstacles around those 3 big obstacles. I like that if you give a card or cards to your teammates, and they go in the wrong direction, That's not the end of the world. Yes, you may get a cop. Yes, you could possibly end the game and lose with getting 3 cops. But a lot of times, if they're moving and they go in the wrong direction, you can kind of reassess and go, oh, okay, now they're actually closer to this other one. Let me change it up and change what I'm doing and go there. So I like that you can kind of like, if they're wrong, it's okay. You can kind of roll with it and change your strategy. I like that aspect of the game. I like the changing map. So the board itself, you know, double-sided, it's going to be random. So there's going to be different things next to different things when you play it. And I like that there's many different map cards that are going to come out. So lots of replayability there. I did like the 2 to 3 co-op mode. I like team play mode better, but the co-op mode was fine. It gets you to learn the mechanisms. And you're just playing against a timer, which in essentially you're kind of doing that anyways. Granted, there's no one putting, you know, investigation markers on the shared spots and that, but it does give you a good feel for the game as well. So are there things that I didn't like about it? Yes, there's certain things that I felt made it so that I didn't like this game as much as I was hoping I would like it. Number one, this game is all about details and speed. But the orientation of this amazing artwork causes big problems for me in this game. You know, when you're playing Mysterium, you're giving someone a card similar to this. When you get playing Dixit, you're giving someone a card similar to this. And everyone can look at the card. They can maybe even reorient it, look at the cards back and forth, and they get to look at it and really study it. And this game has a lot of details in some of the cards that you're trying to look at. And you really need to look at it in a detailed way. And because of the way that the map has to be built, you're not always going to be looking at it head on. Either the investigator and or the teammates are going to be looking at it like upside down, and it's kind of hard. It's really hard to see details and have your brain look at one thing one way and one thing upside down. It just doesn't work. It just made it really hard for people to see those details, which really hurt the game in my opinion a little bit. You might need to have those teammates move around each other, move around the table, move around the other opponent's teams to get themselves to be looking at certain things in certain ways. Is he trying to get us to move here? Well, let's kind of like tilt this way and look at it. Oh, he wants us to go over here? Let's go over and tilt this way. You really do need to look at it the right way, I feel, in order to gather all the details that are on the cards. So you're going to be needing, I would recommend if you play this, allow people to move around obviously the detectives cannot move past to be able to see what's behind their shield, but they should be able to move a little bit around the table to get a better view at things. I recommend you play the game that way because it made it better. The investigators, I feel like they really need a hat or a visor or something to sort of hide their eyes, like in Scotland Yard. You know, whoever's running Mr. X has a hat, they're looking around the board, you can't see their eyes. I really think that both clue givers need something like this. Didn't come in the game, even like a little paper, small cardboard visor would have been fine, something. If you don't have, just everyone has a hat, you can easily just, wear a hat and do this. I really think that's it because you're not supposed to give any clues. But when you're looking at where they're at and you're looking at the cards and you're looking at where they need to get to, you're looking for details that are in all of these cards. And you're very clearly going to be looking at one card. Okay, this is what I'm trying to get into. Let me look at all the details. Let me look at the cards over here. Let me look at all the details. And clearly, without you even trying to do so, your detectives can see where you're looking. And it kind of breaks the game in a way because they know where you're going. And it's not done on purpose. You're just really trying to find the right card. I found this a big problem in the game. You really should have a shield so that when you're looking around, they can't really tell exactly where you're looking. You're always going to be looking somewhere in that general area, but it just really would have been better if they had provided that. I recommend you play that people have a hat on as the investigator, something to shield their eye. The real time might cause too much pressure for some players. This is just a natural thing that some people hate real time, so it could have used some sort of delayed timer variant or a no timer variant. Delayed timer meaning, hey, instead of doing it real time, maybe do it turn by turn. Each investigator gives one thing at a time. Whoever gives it first, then you start a timer, and then that player has that much more time to get it. And then when the other players are talking about which way they should go, as soon as one team moves it, then you flip the timer, then that causes sort of a delayed timer. That way, you can spend a lot of time, but one team can put pressure on the other team. I thought that would have been a good variant. Or even just a no timer turn by turn, which a lot of people would not like, but some people I think would like if they don't like real time. So overall, I liked the game. I just didn't like it nearly as much as I was hoping to. I thought this was maybe going to be party game of the year for me by reading the rules like, oh, it has everything I love. But the downfalls of the game kind of made me not like it as much. I enjoy it. If you ask me to play it, I'll gladly play it. But I was thinking this game was going to be off the charts excellent. And for me, it was just good. And that is Shadows Amsterdam. Don't forget to head on over to BoardGamePrices.com to find the best price for Shadows Amsterdam and thousands of other games.